Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Midnight Brands coming to you with prep breath for Friday, May 26th, 2023. Should hopefully be closing out a great week. Hopefully, everybody's had a good one. Be a couple of interesting things here today, and have just about everything done. Just have a couple of last minute things to wrap, and did not get to the queues. Again, as I mentioned yesterday, we got some other personal things going on, getting folks ready for graduations and whatnot. So I just got that as a little bit of a priority. So we'll jump through a lot of these here. I'm just going to pull up all the charts, and we will end up doing queues live because didn't get to them already. Okay, and just as a reminder, as always, we are not financial analysts, advisors. Nothing we do or say should be taken as any kind of buy or sell recommendation. Do your own research, and check out our full disclaimers over on our Substack page. You can also get to the link from them here. So with that, jumping right into it, at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, we have technical term I think is called the crap ton of econ stuff, personal income spending, PCE, wholesale, durable. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and then we also have University of Michigan sentiment in here with the final stuff. So definitely a lot of things going on here today, econ wise. So looking at things, why is my I know why. So start off with SPY, and then I'll flip over and do the Qs live, and then we will move from there over into the indices. So SPY's up a little bit, 415.40, closed at 414.63. So up a little bit, not like oh my gosh, what the massive gap or anything like that, but it's still gapping up a little bit there. So first upside zone, kind of combine the two. You got your div there in the middle. Combined this div and zone here on this one so that it's one big spot there, and added a little div in here for trend strength reference point. Pretty much everything is pretty straightforward. We did add this one little div here, so obviously we've got some structure here. We dicked for tick the weekly full ADR, as I talked about live in one of the rooms here this week. So we just dick for tick that weekly full there. So today it's there as long as with the tier 1 daily cheat, 50-day. There's also a daily anchor VWAP in there too, right at that same spot. It's just kind of outside of what the expectation is for the move on the day in terms of ADRs. So it's kind of why, yeah, anywho. Yeah. Don't know there's a whole lot else really to say on that one. If we do keep going on the upside, I mean, obviously you get through this zone here with monthly trend guide, this week's highs, etc. Then keep in mind we do have that August 22 gap fill out there, and the weekly trend guide reversal just above that. So let me look at Qs real quick here. Have not looked at this at all yet. That is the right one. Okay, so Qs are gapping up a little bit, about $1. Not, again, anything kind of super crazy. Yesterday's the big crazy one. As you can see, there was massive gap there on that one. Mostly driven a lot by like NVIDIA, AMD. There's a bunch of other ones too. And I saw some other chip company had really positive earnings last night. It really was helping to push a lot of this stuff. So, yeah. So let's drag this one down here, and I'm dragging this down because I want to capture not only the full ADRs. In fact, we're going to drag this up a little bit because it's all just right here. So 344.57. It's pretty wide. I don't really like that. But I'm also going to draw it that big so that you can take a couple shots in there potentially. Would potentially try it at the first one at the tier 1 end of week cheat, But then you also have your, and actually ADRs are going to move up anyways. Sans the weekly full, that's going to be pretty fixed. But I definitely would want to keep an eye here. In fact, we might even just do this. And that way we capture the supply and demand. Yeah, I think I like that better. And then watch for this as a div, and then potentially, you know, keep going if we wanted to go up to like WTGR2 or that structure there at 346, etc. You know, that's where this stuff here comes in, is this 346 kind of ish area. You know, gets back into, man, like what is that, May, April? And then obviously the big April high is all the way back up here at 371 towards the top end of the channel. In any event, that looks like a beautiful zone. That's what I've been talking about all week long, is the bottom edge supply and demand, quarterly trend guide reversal, weekly trend guide reversal. Really want to see it go up there and like everybody's super excited, and then pull back off of that. I think that'll be a great spot. I think, you know, can it absolutely shoot through? You betcha. But I just tend to remember, you know, a couple of folks in the room that I learned from, you know, always talking about how the Qs and then NQ in particular, they may not have an immediate visceral reaction, but they almost always tended to have a pretty good reaction at one of the quarterly pivots. And as we're coming into quarterly trend guide reversal, haven't tested it before, it, I mean, it's staring us right in the face, and today it's a, you know, really big, you know, 4.4 piece zone there, right? So that's pretty good. Don't really care about trend guide. It's smack dab in the middle of everything. It is right at the top edge of the combo point of control. Again, if you don't remember my combo point of controls, go back and look at my Twitter feed. Several weeks ago, I talked about how I was doing some work to combine point of controls. We're going to drag this down to capture yesterday's high, because I don't want to lose sight of that on the charts. And we're going to note this block here. And we're going to note this block here. And this one's going to be bigger because I want to grab that gap fill. That'd be silly massive. Certainly possible, but it'd be pretty silly massive on that one. And then since we're gapping up a little bit, a little over a buck. So 344, 40, so it'd be yeah, I'd put it up here somewhere. Oh, more than that now. Okay, so that's going to be the cues. I'm just going to mark this up here real quick for everybody else. Actually, you know what, they can come and look at this. So sorry, folks. I need to get through a lot of these because we still have a whole bunch of stuff going on here today. So if you're in the room, you watch these, just take a note of this one here. I don't have time to kind of mark it all up. Sorry. So I'm going to go back into it. 26. Okay, so that was SPY. So let's look at ES. So ES has continued to push. Really wish I had taken long when I got up and came into the room here. Around 5:30s, we were pushing away from VWAP. It's been 13-point move since then. So it is up into this block here now, testing that swing anchored VWAP from above there on May 19th. Sure, it certainly got violated here a little bit, but it's also going to be really damn close to where that daily anchored VWAP is, so that's why I left it there. So it's just trying to poke above that right now. It went up to 70s, it looks like, touched the high volume node there. So we added that on this one here. We kind of expanded this block here of the weekly pivot, trend guide reversal, supply and demand. Above that one there, you've got your full and photo ADRs along with the tier 1 daily in addition, you also have an NV POC right there at the high volume node, and there's a naked VA right there. We choose to take all of that. Oh, this block here that we are testing and playing with right now. This is the one that's had all of these reactions here we talked about yesterday too. And so, do we see another one of those where we come up test fail, and come back? That's kind of what happened yesterday. We came up there, tested, and pulled back from it on all that stuff. So, in any event, we decided to shoot through all these things, and we got our big kind of block here at 4220s, which is up near the weekly full, tier 1. Notice our weekly IB stat, weekly full ADR. You got a naked VA in there, gap fill, top edge supply and demand, monthly trend guide reversal. Kind of combined those in one spot and extended it obviously a bit there. It's about a 9.8 point zone there. So you take a shot, maybe try to grab it as it comes into the weekly IB stat, maybe div up to collect tier 2, daily cheat. Maybe it pulls back a little bit and then wants to go tag monthly trend guide reversal gap fill. So just keep that in mind if you start trying to play this one. And then above that, if we really get cooking, and this would be massive given that full ADRs are all the way down here. But given that weekly full is here, tier 2 is right there, if we shoot through this tier 1, then I'd be watching this, and if we blow through that, is kind of a continued short covering with people that were probably way too short on AMD and NVIDIA, all that kind of good stuff. Then we'd keep an eye up on that one. On the lower edge here, so you got trend strength, monthly pivot, kind of this is a zone there. It's also got the 20-day EMA in there and the daily Inca VWAP from May 4th. In between this block here, you can see there's the gap fill NV POC just from yesterday. I didn't pay attention to that. I mean, it's there. Really would want to see it kind of hold this one. Don't really want to see it come down into this 4140 block here again. It's there. It's combo point of control, trend guide, weekly trend guide, like I said, but really want to see it kind of hold this block personally. If it doesn't, then I would probably be more interested in watching for a lower high here off the 50-day block. And then if we don't hold those, then then we got some really big damage, and we're coming down back into the 4110s, which I don't know that would actually hold again. Be really kind of keeping an eye out at that point for the 4090-ish block. So moving on to NQ. NQ is already pushing through that monthly trend guide reversal 3 zone into the combo high value area. So all the way up through here. Again, same thing. Really wish that had taken it when I came in and sat down here at the desk. But that's all right. Was able to focus on getting this stuff done, and ideally can walk in today with a nice clean mind like you did yesterday. So in any event, obviously you got some structure in through here from yesterday of lots of wicks. I mean, keep in mind these are hourly wicks here, folks. So I mean, like lots of wick rejections there. This was certainly real-time hours there, but you're pushing on that at the moment at up at 32. Big blocks here today, and these again are ones I've been talking about all week long. Is you got weekly full ADRs, and it looks like full ADR as well here at quarterly trend guide reversal. So again, it would be super awesome to see us come up there. We'll definitely be watching where Apple and Amazon, Google, everything else is at the moment, and if we can get up there, may actually start looking at shorting some calls against like the T triple Qs, taking some Q puts, especially if we continue to see VIX continuing to decline and whatnot. I think it is presently sub 19 back to 1878. So yeah, really not a whole lot to say. I mean, it's all really kind of straightforward, but this is definitely the big zone that I'm watching, and if we decide to take that out, not a huge stretch to see if we've only traded 100 points already. I mean, it's not that far away, so that'd definitely be, and obviously it is, in the full ADR range. So 150, So you're talking 400 if we decide to go up there and tag that kind of 300 block, or even say like the tier 2 daily cheat stuff there, which actually is important. I did not include the tier 1 end of week cheat or the tier 1 daily cheats here, just above the 14100s, this weekly and daily trend guide. So keep an eye on those. Again, if we do decide to fail through all these things, actually full ADRs is now moved up into just kind of no man's land, but still would keep this block here. Just will no longer have excuse me, it'll just no longer have full ADRs on it. Gonna breeze through RTY YM, but really clean on RTY here, just a couple of zones. RTY is now trading up at 1764, let's call it. So it's pushed through this zone. It's testing the lower edge of the weekly IB stat here. You know, after that big rejection earlier in the week against the 200 monthly trend guide, daily anchor VWAP on that one. So yeah, the other thing I'd say that we added, obviously, is down here, monthly trend guide, full ADR and VPOC, naked VA. Full ADRs will have moved up a little bit, of course. And then up here, if we do decide to really get going, we've already traded, call it 13 points now. So you know, this would be kind of getting up there in ADRs with where RTY has been trading. But we wanted to note out, right, you got some structure in through here. Tier 3 daily cheat, weekly trend guide reversal, and structure, like I just said. So I am also another pretty clean one. You know, so zones up there. We did move this block here down just a little bit so we could grab the 20-day and VPOC in there, etc. Looks like there is also a daily anchor VWAP in there, and I have some hygiene to do over on my daily charts there. Sorry about that. In any event, YM, find it over here on my little cheat sheet, is up near 32,861. So not really moved. It is doing the opposite side. It is trying to hold its 200-day from above. Dipped below here the last couple of days and is trying to close above. So it'd be nice to, you know, weekly candle, go down, test, and close back above it there. Not really anything else to say on YM. It's pretty straightforward levels on it, all things considered. So close up here with GC and CL. Start with CL first. So CL's having a little bit of a push here this morning. It's trying to keep going. Yeah, there we go. So it is trying to push up now into this structure 20-day swing anchor VWAP here zone. It's also a combo high volume node. Like I said, there's some structure in there too. That was one that we added. Just felt like we were going to go through this trend strength reference point zone. We're just testing the upside of it now. We're kind of in from a weekly perspective, we're actually into a low volume node pocket here. So in any event, above there, you do have and would definitely keep an eye on this tier 1 daily cheat. You know, these do have an impact certainly on GC and CL, but I want to see them in relation to other pieces of evidence. And given where the swing AVWAP 20-day was, you know, I didn't want to take this all the way up, or say ignore the swing anchor VWAP and just grab the 20-day and the cheat there. So that's why I'm ignoring the cheat. Just it'll be on my chart. That one's there, all of them, and so I can just keep an eye on that as a potential div for that side. Lower, we added this structure yesterday, low gap fill. It's really wanting to see it come down and tags this kind of stuff down here. Sadly it didn't, and missed this move. Did try to actually catch it here at the daily anchor VWAP from May 4th, and just it blew right through it. So did come back and recover, but it went sub 71 there. Took out my stop, and so I just said screw it and watch, but I didn't really pay super close attention on it. Just didn't play up, so that's all right. Nothing else I think really to add on CL. Oh yeah, actually one thing. This zone, these two zones here, you can see it broke apart. So made this one daily trend guide, weekly trend guide. So remove the weekly trend guide from this block here. So potentially looking for a reaction off of this until maybe we come up and test that 50-day again that we failed now from below. So yep, and then GC. So GC is just kind of hanging out here in the 1950s, just kind of hovering around. Makes me think that it's setting up to continue its move lower. You know, noted this trend line here back from the November lows, held here in March on that big push, tagged it yesterday, and then dipped below a little bit on this one, but you know, still would kind of love to see this deeper move here, kind of put us into the other side of a symmetrical extreme. Even on the 50-day, we're just starting to get, you know, really close to the average side. Would really love a big kind of flush to go out and grab things like, let's say, UGL, or maybe pick up some MGC for a swing as opposed to the full GC contract there. But in any event, it's still hanging up here in the 1950s. So right beneath that zone there, you've got your monthly trend guide, daily trend guide, swing anchor VWAP. You also have your regular session VWAP in there, weekly trend guide, structure, supply and demand. So really big zone here in terms of content within there. It's only 4 points, but I mean that's a pretty good sized massive zone right there. So testing that from trend guide from above, so gap above trend guide. Trend strength lower. So just other piece that I'll note out here is we added this tier 3 daily cheat, supply and demand 50-day. So if we decide to really kind of get moving past this full photo ADRs, then the next block above is going to be up here. You can also add another one up here with the 20-day and capture that too. Treat that as a separate block. So watch for the first block here with swing anchor VWAP, 50-day, etc. And then have another block up here. This would be kind of getting moving. You've already traded 20 points, so I mean that'd be a 60-point move. It's definitely not unheard of with GC. Remember, there's some really big 40, 50, 60-point moves in the past little bit. So yeah, that is it, folks. We are going to wrap it there. Hopefully everybody's had a good one. I don't see any questions, so we will wrap up and be done. Again, hopefully everybody has had a great week, and we will catch you. Actually, keep in mind Monday markets are closed. Excuse me. Markets are closed. There is a shortened futures trading session, so futures, if I remember correctly, the energies, so gold, oil, nat gas, etc., are going to be open till 1 Central, if I recall correctly, and futures are open till noon. So that's it. Hopefully everybody has a great one, and we shall catch y'all later. Bye now.